Yo, welcome back to a new guide. Because in today's video, I'll be showing you how to set up and install Revolution Macro for both Windows and macOS. So without more yapping, let's get straight into it. So the first thing that you want to do to download it on Windows is head to Discord and join Revolution Macro's Discord server. You're gonna find it in the pinned comment, and you're gonna go to the Windows channel, and you're gonna see the download. Or you can join my Discord server, and you're gonna find it in the links channel, and you're gonna see the download. Simply click on it, and it's gonna take you to the GitHub, and you're gonna click on revolutionmacro.exe. So give it a moment. I'll put it in my downloads, click save, and there you go. Now give it a moment until it's done downloading. And after it's done downloading, all you have to do is click on it, and it's gonna simply open up. And there you go, you have Revolution Macro installed on Windows. For macOS, all you need to do is head to Discord and join Revolution Macro Discord server, which will be pinned in the comments. Then head to the macOS channel and download the latest release. And after it's done downloading, click on the new download and put Revolution Macro into the applications folder. Then head to your applications and run Revolution Macro. If it gives you this error, then head to settings and go to security settings in privacy and security. Then scroll and click on open anyway for Revolution Macro. And you're good to go. And after you're done installing Revolution Macro, it's time to set it up. So the first thing that you want to do is have Roblox open to your side, and then click the gear icon, scroll all the way down, and copy this number at move speed, and make sure you don't have any type of haste. Then go into settings in Revolution Macro, then game, then player move speed and make it 32. And for camera sensitivity, click the eye icon so it can auto-detect. For key delay and pattern retry, just leave them as is. For routing, you have use high alignment. What this does is basically make you use much more safer path when you're walking around the map. For disable red cannon, it makes you walk for the whole mountain instead of using the red cannon. With the joins tab, you have preferred hive slot. What this does is basically make the macro pick a hive slot that you want the most. For example, if I pick hive slot number 2, it's gonna pick the hive slot which is right there. And for claim hive method, just keep it as detect. For private server link, if you have a private server just like me, just paste it in here so in case you disconnect, it's gonna make you rejoin the private server. For fallback to public server, if you don't have a private server and the game just so happens to disconnect, it's gonna make you connect to a public server instead. Now for the macro tab right there, you have appearance. It's very simple, it just makes it light theme or dark theme. Always on top keeps the macro always on top when you're macroing. For hotkeys, it's just the way that you start the macro, F1, F2, and F3. Capture. Now, I suggest you keep this at Windows since if you put it at Legacy, it's gonna start flashing white. And for capture frame rate and frame timeout, just keep them as is unless you know what to do. For misc, you have log level, this is not important. And for load timeout, if you, for example, load too long on the blue loading screen in bswarm, it's gonna make you rejoin. Now, for these other tabs called networking, these are for RTPs and stuff like alt accounts, it's not really important. And these are all still upcoming. With the tools tab, you have auto jelly. What this does is make you hash certain bees in your hive using the macro. For RBC gather and tatsing, these are all alt account stuff. For Vic hub, this is the vicious hub, and now you can have main, which is your main account, and searcher, which are alt accounts that are searching for you. For Mondo hub, it's the exact same as Vic hub, but with your main account, which uses server hopping. For the status tabs, you have Revolution Macro's console, logs, webhooks, and statistics. For example, if you want to use the console, you can just type help, and it's gonna show you all the commands. For webhooks, you have the Discord webhook that is the normal one, and you can use bots if you want to. For the Planters tab, you have the Planter Studio. Now you can pick from manual or automatic, and I do suggest you pick manual, but I will pick automatic for this video. Now I have tacky, red clay, blue clay, hydroponic, and pesticide. Not gonna use plastic. Then I want less invigorating, less refreshing. After, and there you go. Now I can just click refresh schedule, and it's gonna set a whole timer for me. Obviously, you can edit this if you want, and it's up to you. And of course, the planters do come with some settings. So for example, if I click on settings, I'm gonna see disable planters and gather loot. These are very self-explanatory. For pathfinding when planting, what this does is make you use much more faster paths to find the planters and harvest them. But I do not suggest this because it could cause issues. For reset when harvesting, what this does is make you use the red cannon and reset to find the planters instead of walking to them automatically. And for the timeline mode, you have clock, which is IRL, and the timer, which is built in inside Revolution Macro. For the collect tab, you have dispensers. Now this is very self-explanatory, it's every single dispenser inside the game. For bug runs, you have every single mob, and you also have scorpions and werewolves all the way at the end. Now you can set this to kill all if you want to and collect loot, and this usually depends on what you want. For settings, you have monster respawn percent. You can set this as 15% if you have a gifted vicious. For the quest tab, you only have polar bear at the moment, and you can enable it with gather interrupt. Now do not enable this if you are blue macro since it would ruin your macroing. And for buffs, you have sticker stack. You can enable it with stickers or without anything. For Mondo Check, you can have it enabled and you can have it gather interrupt, but you can also have it AI Mondo Battle, which makes the AI battle the Mondo Chick instead of standing at one single spot. For HQ boosters, you have Blue Booster and Red Booster and Gather Booster. Now it's all these boosters in the Red HQ, the Blue HQ, and Mountaintop. For things like bosses and Blender, these are also working in progress. And finally, we have the Gathering tab, but before I get into it, consider subscribing as it helps me a lot. Now let's get right into it. So the first thing that you want to do is click the third icon, which is Settings, and you're gonna go into General, and you're gonna see your sprinkler type. Basically set it to whatever you have. For me it's Supreme. And sprinkle spacing, personally I like to do it at 1 stud. And use fast bind return path. This is for only Pine Tree, and I can enable this since it uses the blue cannon instead of going all the way to Polar Bear then to the hives. For the conversion tab, it's all about converting balloons. Now, if you are a blue hive, I suggest you tinker around these and see which setting works best for you. For the AI gathering tab, which is the last tab, there are a lot of settings and I'll be explaining them real quick. For the maximum model FPS, this is the FPS that the AI runs on. So if you have a very good PC, you can put this at 15. But if you have a very mediocre PC, keep it at 10. And just so you know, increasing that number increases the accuracy of the collecting tokens. For things like useful model, only enable this if the main model fails for you. Now, this is very unoptimized, so I suggest to keep it off. For loot mode, this makes the macro much more optimized for loot. And for echo mode, this makes the macro use much more less resources. But just so you know, this makes the token accuracy worse. For the token priority tab, it's very straightforward. So let's say for example, I want my blue boost token to be the first thing that my macro collects. So I'm gonna put it as 100, and there you go, it's the first thing that the macro will pick up. Now let's say I want bear morph after, so I'm gonna put it as 99. And as you can see, it's gonna pick bear morph as a priority. Now you can obviously edit this the way you want, however you want, it's all up to you as a player, and then you can disable tokens of course. Also, things like bomb tokens have every single color, not just blue, so don't get that confused. And now it's time to set up the field gathering, so the first thing that you want to do is click on the gear icon in the gather tab and click the plus, and then pick the field that you want. Of course, I'm a blue hive, so I'm gonna pick Pine Tree. And as you can see, I have this. Click on the little pen icon and the menu will pop up. So you have a lot of things here, the field, the pattern, and the time, and a lot of other settings which I'll be explaining. So the first thing that you want to do is set your pattern. There is obviously a lot of patterns that you probably recognize, and the most important one all the way down is AI Gather. So I'm gonna select that. For the time, I'm gonna make it 10 minutes. So hold on. Now, if it does the connecting to backend, it's a very weird bug. All you have to do is just move it a little bit and it works. And you have max backpack, which is right there. You can just move this however you want. I'll keep it at 95. The length, width, and distance, I'll keep it as normal, but obviously there are a lot of patterns for fields. You can go to Revolution Macro Discord server and find a lot of other patterns. Anyways, for this very confusing position tab, I'll be showing you how it works. So the first thing that you want to do is go into the field that you want and aim towards the hives, so like this, and this is where your player goes. So for example, if I put it all the way on the top, it's gonna be right here with the sprinkler, and if I put it on the bottom, it's gonna be all the way down there. It's very self-explanatory. Now for the rotation, it's the very same thing. If it's right there, it's gonna be aiming towards the hive. If it's all the way up there, it's gonna be aiming towards the diamond mask, so like this. And for the tilt, it's basically where your macro is tilting. So if I put it all the way on the bottom, it's gonna be tilting like this. And if I put it all the way on the top, it's gonna be tilting all the way up like this. For the return method, you have two options, either walk to hive or reset. Now what this does is that it makes the macro decide whether or not to go back to the hive by walking or resetting. For the align tab, you have drift detection. Now what this does is that it makes you go back into the field if you drift outside, and this works with every single sprinkler, but only on the AI gather mode. For alignment and repetitions, this only works on other patterns, not AI gather. And for the very final tab, which is misc, all you have to do here is probably enable shift lock, especially if you're a blue hive, and you can also have camera zoom, but it's not really important. And that's basically it. And as a bonus, I'll be testing Revolution Macro, so let me set up each setting to make sure that everything works. And that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you ever encounter any issues, just let me know in the comments, or you can join my Discord server or Revolution Macro's Discord server. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, consider subscribing, and check out my server of course. But anyway, see you guys later.